And we're back, and we're moving into our second conversation for today. We're joined by representatives of the Belize City Council as we talk about their anniversary. We have with us Mayor of Belize City, Bernard Wagner, and Councillor for Works, Councillor Albert Vaughan. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning again, Marlene.
Good morning.
It's your anniversary already?
No, actually today is the 6th. Huh? So,
yeah.
So last year this time we were anxiously awaited election day, as you could imagine.
And about to pull off what was considered a great upset at that time.
But certainly,
will you agree to that now?
it was an upset from all accounts.
Yeah.
It certainly was an upset. We entered the election race as a huge underdog, given the fact that we were going up against a council that had won, I believe, up to 4 consecutive elections. So whenever you are able to pull off that type of win against a formidable opponent, clearly it was a big win for us.
Yeah. Mayor Wagner, you know, originally entering politics, you were new to politics, and I'm sure you had a perception as to what it was going to be like to manage Belize City. Given the experience you've had so far, what would you say has been the biggest realization for you?
Again, Marlene, the biggest issue I had coming from the private sector is how slow things move within the public sector, and the amount of bureaucracy you meet every day in getting things done for your people or your residents. And we have had time to adjust. You try to adjust, because in the private sector we move at a fast pace. We plan. We are always planning. We are always ensuring that we have goals, that we have short-term, we have long-term goals, and you live for that moment to ensure that you could look back at your report card at the end of the day and say, we achieved this, we achieved that. In the private sector, it has been a bit slow to get things done, but over the past year, we have learned how to work the process, and one of the biggest thing I see coming out of this is building relationships. We could have come into council with a hard and fast mentality, not caring about, we were going up against, we had a government, a central government that was not in line with our party, with our council philosophy. We are opposing views. So I could have come in and buck heads, but I realized quickly that you can't achieve anything with that format. You have to be able to build relationships with both the local government arm of government.
Now, you speak of the differences in private sector and the particular role you have now. And you're right. I think bureaucracy obviously would be an important part of it. But there's also, you are a people's representative. And so you do have an obligation in terms of the public engagement, and also ensuring that people feel satisfied with your work. You're not like your predecessor, where you make a lot of media appearances. And so I want to ask you, which I'd never had a problem with. It was wonderful that people are willing to step up to the plate. But I want to ask how you've been able to balance it, because you can have a strictly business perspective, but then you miss the mark of being the representative of the people. You're
right. Still learning that balancing act. I'm a pretty private person, again, but the business you are in, like you rightly say, that you need to be able to balance it, doing the job of the council, ensuring it's not always about the figures. I'm always engulfed in the figures and engulfed with finances, but the people aspect of it has been a learning experience, and every day I learn on the job, Marlene. Every single day I have been learning on the job, and that is the best part of this job, is learning something new each and every day.
And of course, one of your most recent lessons that has been very public is learning to work along with your elected staff, your councillors. And we had the very public issue of what seems to be a reprimand for Councillor Micah Gooding. Talk to me about being the leader of the council and keeping your councillors on board with the mission, and also having to address public issues as you did most recently?
Again, with our family, we are a family. You have people of different views, people with different personalities. And as a leader, you try to influence the behavior of those persons. Most of the time, you will get through. Sometimes it will not happen. You just hope that the amount of these matters don't rear its ugly head each and every day, because after a while it becomes counterproductive and it impedes progress. And I felt Councillor Gooden and I had an early run-in, pretty early in our start. I felt that we both learned lessons from that, and I was hoping that he was actually doing pretty well after that incident, and I was mentoring him, coaching him, telling him this is the way you want to do things, this is the way not to do things, consult with this, consult with here, and he was doing pretty well. But I don't know, it reared its ugly head again, and we had to reprimand. Reprimand in the sense that, listen, I'm not here to whip you, but we have a responsibility to the residents of the city. The residents of the city elected leaders, not only myself, but they elected 11 leaders, and they expect that those leaders act in a certain way, and that they are responsible to their position.
Mm-hmm. You know, I think it's fair to say that when you have a number of elected officials, you'll all have different views and at times have to work things out, preferably behind closed doors. And I want to bring Councillor Vaughan in just in terms of the experience. When you are on an election run, there's the adrenaline going. We have a shared vision of how we're going to do things. And then when things actually have to unfold and you follow everything that you set out in your manifesto, it probably isn't as easy as you first set out the vision to be. Tell me your experience.
Yeah, thanks. The experience is great. I mean, they say it's all about leadership. I have been in this business for quite a while. It's the first time I've been elected at the local body, but I've been in this business for a long time. Yeah. And the discipline that comes in with, and the leadership that comes in, a lot. It's true, when we got into council, we knew what we were going to face. Now we knew because we were on the ground, we were campaigning, and when we saw the deficiency in the other council. But what experience I gained from it was that this mayor and our council, in particular the deputy mayor, working along with the mayor, their financial controls they have, the little that we found at City Hall, we were able to produce that into man goodies for the all of that thing. But when you patch a hole for a few years, and you drive a nice car, right? You know, and that gives people satisfaction that, listen, this council now have the money. It may lack of the certain resources, but the little that the public, the taxpayers gave us, you know, we get it through.
You know, taking up the specific portfolio of works, one of the things we saw in the previous administration was a transformation of the city streets. And where many had criticized, as would happen, I'm sure you know, a decision to invest so much in concrete streets, it seems, I think if you were to poll them today, they're okay with it now. So you take up the mantle and you have the responsibility of keeping up the infrastructure work that has been going on. How would you rate yourself now?
Well, we would have to go back to our manifesto, and our manifesto clearly directs us where we go with that physical infrastructure. And it talks about properly repair and resurfacing streets and roads that were neglected. May I talk about 14 at least 12 years. Bear in mind that we don't have no Petrocarib, and I won't sit here and beat the council, the farmer council, because those cement streets have a lot of owners. The representative own them, the mayor own them, a lot of people own them. We don't have those resources, so we won't fool ourselves, but we went quickly and look at the plan, what we have, how do we move from here? We need to ease the place, the resident that doesn't have that, wasn't enjoying those concrete streets.
How many streets have you worked on so far?
We could say we have about at least over 60 odd, 70 odd streets that we have done little repairs, upgrade, and we have bigger ones. We have big ones like when we were campaigning on Ring Road. And I like the mayor telling the story better because he just got into politics, right? We have gone through these many years ago, right? They were climbing on fences to pass to get to these residents. You go on Ring Road now, and it's a darling. It's beautiful. The residents are happy, right? We have the one in Port Loyola, the Custard Apple Street. My gosh, why would people live that way, right? For so many years. In fact, $8 million has just passed in front of them. We took little money and make the lives of those people better. So that's the way we work. And
I just want to interject to what the councillor says is so right. The previous council, they focus a lot on Main Street. We are focusing a lot on back streets because we have people living there as well. And people need to ensure that their quality of life is better as well. And when we speak about Ring Road, I could vividly recall, Marlene, campaigning on that street. We literally had to be holding on the fence to pass the big craters, a hole on that street. When you look at that street now, it's awesome. I met the lady that lives there, and she's telling me, Mayor, I feel so good. A little old lady said that I can now walk in to my home, and so we are thankful for that. And we have done many streets. We did the Custard Apple Street. We work on Hushna Crescent. We work on A Street. We work on 3rd Street, and these. Go ahead.
What is your plan? What is your and you know, I think once upon a time it used to be that you patch holes as they go along. What we got accustomed to with the concrete process was that there was a structure in terms of using going after the main arteries and then moving from there. What is this council's plan in terms of which streets you'll be working on? So somebody who's watching right now don't feel like they could call you now and their one will be done tomorrow.
Okay, our plan is different. The main arteries of the city has been concreted, right? So that's good. But we have these other feeder streets that doesn't necessarily need to be concrete. So we engage chip and seal, which has been a label that has been used for years. A pretty nice mix. People love the chip and seal. It's more affordable for us at this time, given the fact that we have financial constraints. But at the end of the day, we are making the lives of the city residents better.
And it's not only streets, because if you look at the chip department, Councillor, we have been attacking a lot of these drains, neglected for years. I've been in, lately we have been up in Boots Crescent, right? In that area behind St. John's Vianney, we had a public meeting, a forest public meeting. The outcry from the resident there was drains. Non-existence. We have, and our team has gone behind there and we have started that work. Yes, they were doing concrete street, as the mayor was saying. You could have seen it out here, but behind these little section there, and in particular the drains when the water comes, there's no way to go. Gentlemen,
let me put you on the spot here. I think anyone can say that your test is yet to come when it comes to infrastructure work. When that rainy season sets in.
Of course.
And depending on what type of rainy season we have, and there is flooding in the streets, everything you have done will be questioned. And you know this because this happens with every council that takes over leadership in the city. So let me ask you, have you worked with in looking at the drainage of the city to somehow make your legacy be a bit different from what we've seen in the past?
But let me quickly say this though, because we had rain over the year. We have we have a lot of rain too. And what helped this council was because we were so smart. We attack, as we got in, we attack those drains, we attack the outlets, we make sure that the canals are clean. The mayor can tell you, look at the Arbor Canal. The mayor have worked very hard with the Ministry of Works to ensure that they open that canal. So you're not catching us by surprise.
Again, I think that test already has passed the test. We went through a rainy season, Marlene, and tell me if I'm wrong that we did not experience the level of flooding. Belize, very low. So you will have flooding. Most major cities have flooding, but it's how fast the water goes down or how fast the water recedes. And we have passed that test. And when we came in, that Yabra Canal was silt all the way. I met with the Ministry of Works. We had a good discussion. They tell me that, listen, Mayor, we can't dredge as yet because there is a bigger plan, right? The Southside alleviation plan, which encompass building of a pumping station there and cleaning out all the canals, cleaning out along Orange Street. But I tell them I can't wait for that. I need the canal to be dredged because due to flooding. And we were able to work that out.
And you know, I recall your pre-election interview where you said that you were completely committed to working along with central government to meet the needs of the city. How, you know, you've had, we've seen you work along with the Minister of Education, the Ministry of Works. You've sent out, I think most recently, a request to the Prime Minister. How has it been going?
That has been going pretty well, Marlene. I must say that our style, right, this council style, is about engaging, right, and ensuring that we are working for the residents of this city. When I go to the Prime Minister, or when I go to the Minister of Works, when I go to our local government minister, Ms. Carla Barnett, they don't see colors, right? They see that here is a leader, or here is a mayor seeking assistance for the residents of his city. And that is where I continue to try to grind it out each and every day, building relationships. I'm not here to quarrel with any opposing person who have opposing view. I want to work and work hard for the residents of the city.
As I alluded to, you recently submitted a request for some financial issues, and I want to move there because you came on scene as the banker who was supposed to get the finances of the city, what seems to be an impossible task, in order. Where are you now?
Pretty good. We are poised. Listen, when we came in, the 60% of the budget was already spent. We were able to cut out waste. We were able to increase our collection percentage from 60% to close to 75%. So our collection ratio of back taxes, back trade license has increased. And what that did, by cutting out the waste, increasing our collection ratio, it gave us another additional $1.5 to $2 million available there for us to carry out the works that we have been doing. If we would have sat on our laurels and complained, we wouldn't have gotten anything done. So now, as we enter our new budget cycle, where we are in control of our finances, we are in control of our revenue, and the revenue that we collect each and every year hovers around 24 million, and that has been flat for the past 4 or 5 years. We have set targets to improve on that. From 24 million, we want to take that to, in the area, 27 million. Those amount of funding now, we are now able to better plan. And now in this second term, you will see projects that originate from this council. And
this is where the balancing act becomes important again, because let's be clear, you know, spending, and sometimes, as you have said in the past, unbudgeted spending or going over budget, is what brings visibility. If the people don't see anything happening, then they are not satisfied. And perhaps it's where the pressure for the politician comes to not be as responsible with finances. How will you continue to keep the visibility of the work going and still keep your finances in order?
And that is why I just said we are now poised. Because we will operate smartly. We cannot lose fact that, hey, now we are in control of our budget and we become wasteful as the previous council. We still have to maintain fiscal discipline. And that is hard to follow as a politician, But as a person that has been in finance for so long, I bring that reality to the council. When I sit in caucus with the other 10 councillors, they have so many projects. They tell me, Mayor, I am a politician.
Someone in big city.
Yes, I want to get this done, Mayor. And so I have to be that voice to them saying, listen, scale this back. Let's do it this way. We budget for it, but we have to understand that even though we have passed a budget is only a paper. A budget only is realized based on your cash flow. If you don't have any money in the bank, budget doesn't mean anything, right? So that is where I have been constantly trying to speak to our politician, councillors, myself as a politician as well. But you want to get things done, but you have to be smart about it, Marlene.
What would you say has been the most worthwhile investment in the past year?
Worthwhile investment, I have to say, it will not be physical. A lot of our programs, remember we came in on a platform of promoting social infrastructure. That is key to this council. You will not see visible big cement streets, big civic center, but the people will benefit from this council, and we have done tremendous work. Listen, when we came in, we had an issue where people have not been shopping in downtown Belize City. That last Saturday super sale zone, people wait for it each and every month. We didn't have it this past February due to the artist show, but we have people knocking, Mayor, we want the super sale zone. And that in itself, Marlene, create an economic synergy, right? Our people benefit, they are able to access goods, food stuff at a very affordable price. We have, so what that does is keep our money at home. People are not traversing much to Chetomal. They wait for our super sale Saturday. So that in itself, I believe, was one of the areas where our business community now feels that we have a council that is business friendly and a council that will put them first. And when that happens, we have job creation, we have people are employed, people are able to pay their bills, their household bills, take their families abroad and that sort of thing. So it all intertwined.
Now, the liaising with the private sector is an important part of your work. It's how the support that you need. When you talk about the downtown sale, I know as well that the Belize Police Department did have to work very closely with that very same community because of security issues. Now, very clearly, this is not your mandate as the City Council, but it does reflect on the quality of life that city residents have. Talk to me about your own work that you've done in helping to participate or contribute to the mitigation of crime, which is perhaps, I think, the number one issue for any Belize City resident.
Yeah, of course, crime and citizen security continues to be a common thread you hear out there. When we are having or organizing our super sale zone again, we always try to ensure that we have participation from the police. I have a very close relationship with the new commissioner of police. I try to attend meetings, I try to engage with them and tell them, listen, even though we are not mandated by law to be a police sort of council or take care of any matter that involves crime, we still want to be at the table with you because it's our city. And I'm certain that when we pool our ideas together, we're able to achieve greater things. And so I'm very thankful that the commissioner met with myself, and we have some programs, some initiatives in the pipeline that we want to launch as a team to ensure that crime begins to dwindle in the city.
But if I could expand on that to me, because that's a very important question, Martin, because those vacant lots that we have been attacking, vigorously attacking. Just last night I noticed sanitation was moving at least 3 derelict vehicles off the street because that's where they hide the stuff then, you know. So we are contributing, we're working very hard. I think we done one on St. Joseph Street there. We were over in the south side, just clearing out these open lots, you know, these abandoned lots, and these derelict vehicles, because that's where the criminal activities they're most active in. So we have done a lot there.
All right, so in the interest of time, I want to move forward, and we got to talk about what you'll do for your anniversary as well. So let's do that. Let's talk about what you have planned to celebrate your anniversary.
Okay, again, we certainly want to have our residents and our supporters engaged, and that is why we are planning this this anniversary event tomorrow night between the hours of 6 to 12. We'll have speakers such as myself. We'll have the party chairman, and my party leader just confirmed that he will speak. That he will speak tomorrow as well. We have entertainers, TR Shine, Miami, Chico Ramos, Positive Vibes, and a whole heap of other artists there to entertain our people. But it also gives us a time, Marlene, to reflect back on last year. I could recall vividly last year when we won. I was out at the counting station up until 3, and I get this call that you are supposed to be on OYE at 6:30, and my eyes are like, and I came here all red-eyed.
But you were still pumping that adrenaline, I can tell you that much. Like most people would after a win.
But we have not only this event, but we have a whole heap of events throughout this month. We have a artist show this morning at the Battlefield Park, today and tomorrow. During the course of the day, right here, Culture in the Park. It's showcasing Belizean artists. And then we do have our kite contest on 9th of March. It will be a great family event. We have many other events lined up.
And that's going to be at Memorial Park.
Memorial Park.
Yeah.
I just want to throw into Marlene. You know, sometimes I just catch up now. But this has been one of the most visible mayor on the city street. Sometimes I am annoyed because when I go to the council, I say, "Where is he? I want him here, some part of the city." He has been around. He has been on the public transport. He has been downtown. He has been in all those spots that people have concern, and he actually engages people. That's why I think that's why the program is so hype, because these are what coming directly from the people. This is a man that have been around, and sometimes I don't know if they're good or bad, because I go to City Hall, I can't find a man for get what you think you need.
No, I mean, everyone has their vision as to what type of leader they want to be. You've had 1 year experience. There's a very short learning curve that you're allowed in a 3-year term. What can you commit to the Belize City residents as you move forward?
I have 2 major projects which I believe would define this council, right? And those 2 projects are dear to me, right? Campaigning, we traverse the many London bridges in the Crewman Lagoon, and people say, "Well, you're crazy for the talk about Crewman Lagoon." But I continue to be guided by this, that we need to move our residents off the Crewman Lagoon. We cannot move our residents off the Crewman Lagoon unless we are able to accommodate them somewhere else. So we wrote a project to the 5 Cs. It's a well thought out project where we are seeking funding, of course, to rehabilitate the Crewman Lagoon after we have moved these people off. So the funding, if approved, would provide us with the necessary resource to acquire land. I've met with several landowners in the area close to Gongolong that have estate. It's just the cost. So if we are able to seek that funding to purchase that land, acquire that land, fill it up, and then use the remaining funds to rehabilitate the Crewman Lagoon into its natural habitat, we would then be killing two birds with one stone. We'll be providing affordable housing, better housing for our residents that live on that lagoon. It's about 100 families.
But let me just jump in there. When you first spoke of this project, and rightly so, the first statement that would be made is that's not your housing isn't your mandate.
Yeah.
Not as a Belize City mayor.
Yeah, but we are not the ordinary council. We can't be, you can't say that you are about the people and you was into City Hall for 3 years, sometime 6 years, sometime 9 years, sometime 12 years, and you see your residents living in those conditions and you make no attempt to change that equation. And so, while it's not my mandate, it is something that we could work together with the private sector to get this done. I have commitment from the group out of London that they will fund the housing project. It's just the other end we need where to purchase the land.
Okay.
Right? And so I believe that we're still close to closing that deal. And the other key projects before we cut off is the e-transit. We need a new Belize City Metro. I rode the bus the other day, Marlene, and I can't believe that our residents ride these buses. I smell the gas, Marlene, and everything is...
Can I just jump in? And we're really running out of time. We should have started this one sooner. The municipality transport system is managed by the city council. We're not talking about the runs up to Orange Walk or the runs up to Lake. The ones that move around the city are your responsibility. The license, the who's allowed to have the who's allowed to have the
we don't give out. We don't give out.
No, I know, but it is managed by the council.
Yes, it is. But we don't issue road
the permits. You're talking about the permits. Yes, I know.
If we had issued road permits, it would be a different
But you manage what their responsibilities are. You manage the roads.
Yes, we manage roads.
And their efficiency.
But we don't manage the buses, the type of buses. We want to change that, right? But it requires decentralization. It requires a wider look, not only from the municipal standpoint, but from the local government standpoint. But I'm saying, Marlene, that we want to have our own Belize City Metro, which will be buses that are efficient, buses that are electric buses. We live in a world where everybody is speaking about climate change, but we are contributing every day, having these old buses running through our city, giving poor service.
Breaking up the streets, the manhole covers.
Breaking a lot of the
ride right on the
laws.
Exactly. And they ride on the manhole covers that we are just replacing. So this is a project that we are currently writing to seek funding again. And I'm hoping that these two projects see through for this council.
All right. Thank you very much for giving us some insight as to where your vision is. Once again, you have an art event tomorrow in the Battlefield Park. You have the big celebration at night. And of course, you have your Sunday Kite Day. Yes. The March 9th Kite Festival returns. Right. So thank you very much for coming in. Of course, these details are available online on your Facebook page. But we appreciate you coming in to talk about your past year.
Thank you again, Marlene.
All right. We're going to go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, we'll be talking to vets about the ongoing canine distemper outbreak. So stay tuned.